participate. And I want to hear them. If they have any question, I'm willing to hear the question for them, because the thing here is, Stephen, some of us in the country, there are many good Liberians. We struggle hard to earn what we got. There are some Liberians there who are doctors, engineers, pharmacists, nurses. They went through the process in this country, Stevie. All right. They gather in the night, they study, they went to class during the rain, the sun, the snow, the cold, and they managed to get what the American have put in place called their standard. Now, when you have somebody who tried to bypass the system and put those people credential and hard work at risk, then that person need to be condemned. Because one day, those that listen to me will come to this country, and whatever you will go through to obtain your degree, or whatever position you will be given to keep up your character and your performance. And when you see people taking shortcut, that when you will realize that, you know what, Jay Randy was right. We have to learn to do the right thing. So let's open the line. I would really like to hear from them. This is their show, and I think they deserve the rightful information to be given to them. So let's start taking call if you don't mind. Yeah, let's start taking call.
The lines are now open on 0775 360 or you better dial 0555-679-08 number. Really, I mean, on the issue of water. Let me just start picking up the call.
Oh, the call coming in now. All right, yeah, let the call start coming in.
Hello, what is the name and you join us from where?
Yeah, my name is Lazarus David. I'm calling from Brooklyn, Liberia.
Thank you for joining us. Let's hear you. You've been listening to Randy Dope.
Yeah, thank you very much for the better education from our brother there, Winnie. So I'm very much concerned of the story of Stanton. I really want to know the position Stanton was really holding in that institution. Was he really there, or was he really speaking on the issue of the lawyer justice? Was he really the head of that institution? In what position? What was the role there? I really want to know.
All right, thank you. You mean it soon that way, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. You listening?
No, I'm talking about the area that you are saying completed.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. Like I said, you gotta know your real because we are very careful. So, Ronald, we want to speak to that, to know, to ascertain who is this with Saturn Witherspoon, even at this radio station that you're holding, for which you're doing distribution of these fake documents today.
Yeah, so I think I got a caller message. He wants to know whether Stanton was the head of the school they have been. I mean, the school that have been accused. Stanton came as he has some kind of fake school name. He established some kind of fake school name here. So he brought a part of school name, and then there are other guys who had their part of school, but they all joined together, and then it became one in terms of how they distribute the fake document. So that means he had a share in it. But he represented some type of Babati school that he said he claimed to have, but the school was fake. So yeah, he was head of that school, but when he joined, he became a stakeholder. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, I'm sure you got it right. But Randy, just to announce that on the social media there were people condemning the issue that Witherspoon did. In fact, if you are saying I'm guilty instead of saying no, because due diligence comes and they find you guilty of that particular crime, all of the states probably the people are operating will give you the years, like you know they say you can be charged per state. The years they can give you per state.
Yeah, so
they accepted to do that condemnation.
No, it would be a bad decision if he does that. And thank God that he got lawyer, because he had gone ahead to do that, then that means that he at the mercy of the federal court. I mean, they can get him 20 years. So he has to battle out, and he has to challenge them so that other people can come. Yeah, because you can just go somewhere and say, I'm guilty. If you're guilty, then you send in your whole set to the people who accuse you. So that was...
They feel yes, indeed, the man is guilty, so he's supposed to accept it.
Exactly.
Maybe they will do plea bargain.
No. Because what the guy had done, he undermined the U.S. healthcare system. So those people will come for him to teach him a very good sense or lesson. So it was a good move. But like I said, nobody should listen to Stanton, because this is a man who decided to take shortcut in this country. And that shortcut had painted and tinted many people's character in this country. So when he come out, for example, when you guys listen to the man saying that Samuel Toy gave him, was trying to give him $50,000. Who in a red mind, the way he explained the thing, right? This man is minister in the country. And nobody can just walk to the minister and say, oh yeah, voucher, you can sign it. It doesn't work like that. The Ministry of Finance is structured. You got people who work in different departments in that ministry. So he will just the TT woman go straight out to the finance minister and let the man go sign the voucher. It doesn't work like that.
No, if he said finance minister private bank.
Well, that's what makes him to be somebody that cannot be trusted now. Because you and I know people who process documents at that finance ministry, we have to go through what we call in this area loop and holes. They have to go from one department to another to get things done. And all right, but he just get and say, oh, they find people leave from America here, they go to Liberia, they can't even see the finance minister easy. Then somebody will just get and say, oh yeah, I went over there. No. The finance minister will not just take somebody a voucher and just sign it like that. No, that sounds too good to be true, and that will make that man to be a very untrusted person. You see, the guy already causing problem for us in the country, not only as Liberian, but as black people. Then he coming again trying to put lies and disinformation in the minds of Liberians again. This guy should not be appearing on any show. In fact, when you watch that his show, the way he was talking, I think he was telling him, start talking to, because nowadays, anything he says, the FBI is monitoring him. That's why he doesn't understand. Anywhere he go, the FBI, because the FBI is still looking for evidence on this guy. So anywhere he go, anything he says, the FBI still monitor him. That's why they're doing that. They still monitor him. So he just got to be careful. Yes, he just got to be careful. And but he's somebody that nobody should trust, because he got no moral character in him. Yes. And think about the wire exam.
Great Satan Witherspoon wants to bypass the system. Is being caught in the web for that reason. He resigned from his institution.
You know why he resigned? Let me tell you why he resigned. You know why he resigned? He think he's smart, but he doesn't know that what he's doing, the FBI already know. The school the man was run.
The institution is not for him.
Well, let me tell you the reason now. Let me tell you the reason. Let Labrenpo listen. The FBI has seized everything that he got in this country here. Now, when he is found guilty, everything he owns here, the FBI will end up taking those things and resetting it to give back the money to those that he tricked. That is part of the restitution. Now, the reason he jumped me up coming down and said, oh, I don't own anything in Liberia, because there is a possibility that the FBI can come to Liberia and seize the property. So what he's doing now is he trying to
exclude himself.
Yeah, but the thing here is the Ministry of Information or whatever institution that issues certificate to give a radio station the right to broadcast, it's possible that the FBI can reach out to the Liberian government and say, does Stanton Witherspoon own anything in our country?
And it can be through information ministry.
Okay, thank you.
For radio stations.
Yes. So, so they will reach out to the Ministry of Information through the UN Embassy or through the Foreign Ministry to investigate. Now, Stanton Witherspoon just think by him coming on the radio and say, "Oh, I don't own anything," that the one who call motor. The reality there are print media, electronic media that show that when he acquired how they call it, Fabric and other radio station, people were calling him the owner of this station. He had acquired this. The FBI are going to pull all that document. Exactly. So whatever he signed, so whatever Mr. Witherspoon signed, they will need that documentation. And if his name is on the signature that he was part of the deal, then that radio station or whatever he owned could be subject.
Confiscation.
Yes. And the people have to banjo it so they can get their money back. And then when they finish getting what they can get, then they go lock him up for the crime that he will be found guilty of. But that man need to go to jail because that behavior yesterday was a very, very bad behavior. Very, very bad behavior. Even if you're Liberian, you sick in this country, you could get in trouble. So Stanton Witherspoon is nobody you have to listen to. All right? That man cannot be in America here. Even we're telling our children not to listen to that man because he's a bad role model. That's how we call it. A very bad role model. When the American man tells you you're a bad role model, that means nobody should listen to you in this country, and that's what he is. All right, that's how he is. So let's keep taking the course. If you got any question, don't bother to ask me.
You still listening to the show of Bekubef with Jay Dopo from the United States of America. My name is Stevie Taro, doing the coordination here and hosting the program. The numbers are 0775 360 356 0775 360 356 or 0555 679 089. Still having the show, Bekube Show, on this video with J. Randy Tupu from the United States of America. A lot of information was provided with respect to not playing hits or don't even listen to the man called Saturn Witherspoon. You spoiled the black race. I mean, people are trying as much as possible to do all to maintain a character for it to be recognized worldwide. But yet and still, we came and did his. So the invitation is you to come and make your contribution on the Bekube Show. So Rene will stay Galo continue with all one because
yes, let's continue. Yes.
20 minutes past 7. Then we go to the next topic that has to do with President Weah be a transformational leader.
Yes, people often say if the horse don't sell you, the street will not buy you. And they often tell leaders that good examples start with you. Stephen, I will say this to you. The reason that I believe that Mr. Weah, President Weah, is now owning the first citizen of the country. He's now owning the chief executive. He's now owning the CRC, but he is a transformational president. These few days, I have taken my time to watch a video clip that was sent to me, Stephen, and I will be very personal here because this story is very touching.
Okay.
River G used to be Lower Grand Judah back in the days when I was in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, when I was there, I spent, I think, less than 9 months in River G as a kid because my father had just retired from Lamco. When we used to go to Fishtown and the time we spent there, we only used to see the moonlight at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, only the moonlight at night, and then people will come outside and start beating drum. And when we leave to come back to our town, we'll walk, and the road will always dusted up. I remember that time. My mom used to hold my hands. My brothers and my sister, we used to be walking. But in a few days, somebody sent me a video clip of River G. And I look at the street light and I see people walking. I even saw a little dog crossing the street. I went and called my children and my daughter looked at me. She said, "But what's going on with you? You don't look happy. What happened?" Tears was setting in my eyes. Yes, tears were setting in my eyes, Stephen, because all the years that I lived in that place, I never imagined that there would be a road with street on it. I mean, with light on the street and Kota. Tears set in my eye, and all I was saying to myself,
especially the part of that country,
yes,
of this country,
and all I was saying to myself, I wish my parents had the opportunity where I can talk to them, even though they are dead and gone. I just said to myself, I wish I could talk to my parents. Then if God could just give me that one phone call, the only thing I would tell them, they got street light in that place now. They get Kota there. If that is not a transformation, I don't know what Liberian people understand about transformation. And it's just a street. What about the other people that got street lights and hospital? What about other people that got new bridge or reconstructed bridges? If that is not transformation, Stevie, I don't know what to tell the Liberian people. But what I would say to them, for 133 years, many of us parents that work in our country, many of our parents, for 133 years, that means from 1847 to 1980, many of our parents and grandparents, they lived through that era. But what happened during that time? Nothing. Nothing. We were born, they were born into poverty. They born us into poverty. We never saw the changes that were taking place around the continent of Africa. But today, under the Weah administration, we see no transformation taking place. Now, when you look at the voter registration, people are now trying to digitize the voter registration today. If you don't see that, yeah, first of a kind. But this is a country that was founded in 1847.
Sure.
But it just happening under 6 years of the present administration. The things that we never saw before is now happening or are happening under the administration. Look, I will say this in a bold way, and I will also explain in a common English way. George Weah is the only politician right now of this generation that will do more for that country. The rest, they are just footnote. You know, footnote is that when you read the main note, then at the bottom you just put small thing down there. So George Weah is the main politician.
Sorry, let me get to the phone now.
Yes, take your call. Take your call. Take your call. Take your call.
Yes, really?
And then where you join us from?
Yes, this is from Tati, calling from Tata here.
Oh, Tati, good evening. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I listen to your show and I listen to Rini, I listen to you.
Great.
And something interesting me to call when he said Weah is a transformation leader.
Go ahead, sir.
He made mention about peacetime refugee, and it is at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to be very mindful because it is the same transformation that Joe was bringing when he launched Cancer Harbor Highway. And you know, people will not let the idea for the government to have access to their resources. We got enormous resources in the country, Stevie and Rini, but because they are lack of, even the very agriculture. Take for example, even the area you mentioned in refugee, you got the high foreign refugee who will go right from there to even bring rice to town, cocoa to bring it to town. But those highways that are being built now, is what to build in the city. They will tell me, we're not talking about highways anymore.
There you go.
About different things.
There you go.
But because people hate people who are transformational people, so we have to be mindful of people who run politics, this, that, all this kind of thing. You want right is good. But how about our resources that have been lack of? How about people who run this country 133 years, they could actually carry same road to the farm?
Yep.
I mean, I went to Harper 30 times before I started now. I went to Harper 30 times. All that came from Harper is actually rich people. They were young old people that went to Summer Farm. Summer Farm, they tried to go down, went on the road to a farm. So you will rock off the road to go to people, past people. When you really Harper, then you get Kota. You don't have a detection.
Yep.
So, I mean, thank you, really. I listen to you. But we, the corporate people, let me just be, I I will join other people to buy more. I will corporate business there. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Tati.
Rennie, I think you listen to Mr. Brown.
Crystal clear. Crystal clear.
Former Secretary of Nigeria. I know you too good, is my dad.
Yes.
You listen to his contribution. Almost doing an addition to your transformation.
Yes. Let me just speak to that. My mom died. My mom died in Chien, right opposite the administrative town hall in Zedru. I still remember.
Sorry. Good evening. Your name, where you from? Okay, let's hear you, Roosevelt.
I was thinking I'm from Upper Nigeria, Western District.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a family in Korea. Who is from Upper Nigeria? That's all. I just call him Johnny Demba. That young man, I want really to hold down. It's like he lost. He lost his idea. He didn't even want to take him to, our country. And I was really in the Southeast. The man was really everything with liberty and with bomb of Georgia. I'm surprised I didn't know that. We need a Johnny Demba. Don't be educated man on what's going on in Nigeria now.
Okay.
Thank you, Roosevelt.
Okay.
Okay. Rennie?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're doing some contributions on Kimi, doing an additional information as well.
Yes. Look, Joseph Boakai is an obsolete politician who does not fit into the contemporary and social politics in our country. Cummings also is a politician that don't even know where he's coming from and where he's going. He is a man who got mad and angry with the Liberian people because they did not give him political decision. And therefore, he decided not to create one single job for Liberia in our country. So when you look at Boakai, who lived through 47 years of his time in government, and he cannot even articulate anything, that he cannot even articulate anything to say, yes, I served this government and this is what I did in my role. But you can relate Joseph Boakai days in government as part of the worst days that really disenchanted and disenfranchised our community and people in our country. Now, when you look at what Mr. Weah is doing, things that were there, I listened to the brother I just called. Some of our brothers from the other side, we cannot change their mind because their mind has already been made up. They are living with what we call perception illiteracy. So the brother he's talking about, he is living with perception illiteracy because what people tells him, he don't go there to see it because he's living on a perception illiteracy. But we're not going to pay attention to those guys. Yeah, perception illiteracy. Perception illiteracy is a form of information. By the time somebody kind of tells you, oh, my man, yeah, we saw Stephen running away from Central Bank, we found it out. Oh, yeah, then the man running away, going all around. Stephen run, oh, Stephen took money. That perception illiteracy, because a person who is perceptionally literate will say, you know what? Let me go ask Stephen. Let me go ask that bank. Let me ask people. Yeah, exactly. So when you guys come on a different platform and just start to say things, and you and I know that the reality exists, but they don't want to bring it on their show to discuss it, that is called perception illiteracy. They are living under the spell of perception illiteracy. And, so they become a carrier. How people can carry the HIV virus, people can carry the Ebola virus, people can carry the COVID virus. They are carriers of perception information. So what do you expect these guys then? Nothing. So what we can do is to come on a platform and be able to present what we see happening in the country. Mr. Weah work in our country is going beyond what was never done in our country, and people know it. You think for Joseph Boakai that don't belong in today's politics, he can get up and go to Jefferson Koji and say, thank you for a job well done. I'm going to give you this honor as hero of Lofa County. Don't you see that the time is changing? Don't you see that the torch is being passed over? Because the people in Lofa County,
if it is not them, it shouldn't be another person.
Then they are not. Then they are not. Then they are not Liberia centric. The centricity of being a Liberian is what better the present generation and will protect the future generation. If they don't think in that way, also of their political environment, then they are not people to love. Because if they are doing that, it means that they got their children, but when they go hustle, they put themselves first. That's what they're doing. That means they don't have feelings.
So it boils down to what Mr. Tate just alluded to.
Yes.
And looking at now being constructed, but we will go into Bucci because of, I don't want to call it national jealousy. Maybe somebody is doing something that is supposed to assist him so that you two can get part of that, what we should be doing. This is what getting other people afraid to have gone up in Cuba and do one or two things for the country.
Yes. Yes, and that's why we got to make sure that we let the Liberian people know that President Weah is a transformational leader. You have opposition leaving the country here of America and Europe and going, all right, and going to Liberia. You find them living good life, traveling the country, getting on pen, showing people. Now, oh yes, I enjoy the country here. Yeah, it's here. And then they can't rep back to America. Then they can't tell us, oh, the country not correct, people suffering. Those guys are not Liberia centric. When I say being Liberia centric, Stevie, whatever you see wrong, whether you're from different party, whatever you see wrong or whatever is good, give praise to that thing. The street light that is in River G today, the hospital that was built in Nima by Elling, the hospital that has been built by George Weah or have been built by George Weah in Bapolu, the 14 military hospital that was built in Magibi, those are infrastructure. Those are infrastructure that will remain since Elling left. They will be there. It will have finished in 2 years. The next people need to come and continue to improve on it. So if you are a politician and don't understand that these major milestones that the president is trying to put in place that transforming the country, if you don't see that as an opportunity, because you see, they got lack of strategy, right? So let's say, for example, it's Stephen running. You're running in an election campaign. All right, President Weah is putting this structure in place. Or you can come during your campaign time and say, look, what the president built in the hospital? Yes. So guess what? When you elect me, I will bring a headquarter for the hospital. And that means when somebody gets injured on the highway, we can get the headquarter to go and pick up that injured person and bring them here. That is what we call improving the process. But these guys in the opposition, they got no clue about this thing, my brother. No clue. So they just want to just get to power just to enrich themselves. They got no plans. Absolutely no plans. So why would you want to waste your time?
That's my point. They criticize without recommendations what the thing is supposed to be done so that the country can be on a right trajectory.
I will not put the word, Steve, I will not put a word recommendation because they are not consulting for the government. But what I will say, they don't have any idea to persuade the people, to convince the people. All they do oftentimes is just to come and create what I call distraction. And that's why we are here to make sure that what kind of idea Boca got when he been in power for 45 years and he cannot point to anything? What kind of idea he got by him going around and talking about arrest? Arrest is just a slogan. Arrest is just a slogan. Right now I can come to you and say ocean, like the Atlantic Ocean, OCEAN. I can say the O stand for, or I can say the O stand for open experience. I can say the C stand for consciousness. I can say the E stand for executive. I can say the A stand for agreement. I can say the N stand for nothing. So when he talk about arrest, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? This man got no idea to begin with. This is a man who sat with Ellen for 12 years, and he could not even convince the Liberian people to get elected. Joseph Biden was with Obama for 8 years. He did not run against Trump in the first round. Hillary Clinton did. But the moment Joseph Biden came out, guess what happened? He nailed it. Because the record for 8 years under Obama was excellent. Hillary Clinton did not have that record. You see what I'm saying here, my brother? So you got guy like Joseph Boyka, who always claimed that he been in power for 45 years. But there's nothing Boyka can show about in 45 years. You guys are wasting your time.
With these things, just give me 1 minute. This old man just called. I mean, developing, seeing how people come about, putting themselves together to have the people get access to almost every new thing that happening. But then he's there, I mean, on spoon, criticizing the man who is termed as a transformational leader, who of course worldwide people are seeing is doing, and it seems to be possible that yes, it will end. Everything he's doing, even though there is no third step. What have you to say, for some guys in the diaspora to give you some views that don't resemble what they live in?
Look, I'm not here to vilify that guy because he's nobody, he's nothing. He feel very pleased living in somebody else's country and enjoying the other people's sweat and not even making significant contribution. But yeah, what I would say, Steve, in life, people personality. And personality is a unique way in which you and I will navigate in the world with our consistency pattern and behavior. These guys you see coming out here that making all the noise, there is something called extrovert. EXTEROVERT. Extrovert. And they got introvert. Most Liberians who are in the opposition, they behave like extrovert. An extrovert is somebody who will come and say, damn it, Stevie, you know what? Nothing we are doing in our town, Peking, because when you look at it, you look at that. There are people who make noise on social media, but in reality, when you put them down one-to-one and say, the thing you telling me, what the proof you got, they will not give you any information. Nothing. So we call them extrovert. And they are extrovert. So I don't pay attention to these kind of people, whether he are low or high extrovert. They always come on. So anybody you see that come on social media where they're running their own show and they're talking. Yeah, Labro. They are people who are under the spell of being an extrovert. That's who they are. So don't pay attention to these kind of people, my brother. So let's focus on the president, what I will call credential gains. What Mr. Weah is doing in the country today is changing life. When you look at someone like Nombi Kanga, a woman walked to Nombi Kanga makeshift market structure that is so hazardous. Yes. When you look at that thing that woman was showing you and myself, does that provide any power motivation, or does that give you any affiliation to be motivated? Or does that give you any sort of achievement motivation? Nothing. But these are people who call themselves leaders. You see, the opposition got no power to motivate anybody. They got no affiliation to get people to get attracted to them, that the people are independent mind. Because these people have achieved nothing. These guys are honor achiever. You see the reality. What the president is doing, transforming the marketplaces of our mom, auntie, sister, where they go to do their business. And when you see the hazard, the good for nothing place that Nombi Kanga put up, does that really make sense? They cannot persuade anybody to speak. Now, One person they can persuade. So let's focus on the guys who are doing extremely well, working along with the president. Like I said, the opposition, they got no message. They don't have no power to motivate. They don't have no affiliation with the people to motivate them. And they are now achievers. So they don't have achievement motivation. So don't listen to these people. If you're a Liberian, listen to me. I want you to ask yourself, where were you for the past 12 years of any administration? Because for me, I know there was nothing that was done in the personal life of individual except for the people around Ellen. In a country they call Liberia, say when you ask Liberia, what did Ellen do for you? Some of the foreign will say she ain't come here to do anything here. But when you see a president that is going to Dubai negotiating an MOU that will come to Liberia, Stevie, let me tell you about the MOU that was signed between Blue Carbon. You see, the people of Dubai, the whole world today is divided into 4 quadrants, right? We got the north, we got the south, we got the east, and we got the west. Now, remember they say what? The earth rotates, right? Yeah. So some people now are going to the evening hour or coming to the morning hour, while we're going to our afternoon into our evening hours. Now, the way the war is structured, the United States, you leave from here, you go to Europe. From Europe, you go to Africa. From Africa, you can travel down, depending on where you are, to South America. That's how the cycle goes. Now, the industrialized countries are mainly found in Europe, some in Asia, and most of them in the Western world, where we are. Now, where America run all her factory that produce those nasty smoke that contain carbon dioxide, that contain sulfur, that affect the environment, that smoke, as the earth rotates, is taking that smoke to Europe. That is the pollution to Europe. And then when the Europeans produce their part of pollution, that pollution, as the air rotates, is going to Africa. Now, Africa got nothing, right? Because we don't have too many industrialized activities that will affect the climate. Then when daybreak, it start coming down to China, and then China capture it and bring it and dump it into California, the West Coast, and then they start going around the same cycle that I just described. So the scientists then sat down from space, they look at it and say, oh, but we got an opportunity here, guys. Don't you know that in Africa, when the earth rotates, it captures all the greenhouse gases? Wow. We got to go down there and tell our brothers and sisters in Africa not to do anything to the forest. Because if they chop the forest down, if they chop the forest tree down, we're in trouble. That's how come they started having all the different COP28, whether it's in Vietnam, whether it's in America, whether it's in Europe. They started calling the African leaders and said, look, we really need your help. Your forest you got over there, we don't want you to just chop it down at any given time because you guys are saving the planet. But the African leader said, you know what? Joe Weirden said, in order for us to not chop the forest down because our people using the forest to survive, what you're going to do is, okay, we find ways to give you money to do different type of farming and other activities. Now, how can you see they will say Norway signed an agreement to maintain the forest with FDA? Now, the world gathered to America and other countries gathered and say, okay, we got big money that we put out there, very big money. But any country can come out with ideas, and any country that polluting the environment that can come up with ideas to help Africa, we will also add something to your part of money. So the guy in Dubai got to say, my man, letting our money business now. We're going to put $54 billion on the table. Dubai announced we got $54 billion. Any country in Africa that want to protect a forest, but they don't have the expertise, come and sign contract with us. We'll help you to protect your forest. We'll do the census of your forest. So the agreement that Mr. Toure signed with the people of Dubai, that money is not only for Liberia. Hey, let Stephen get up today. Stephen say, I got $1 million Anybody who need help in Liberia need to come to me. Then the person come to you and says, Stephen, you know, I got family problem. Then you and that person, Stephen, will sign the agreement that they want front pay with you, and just go run around and say, oh, one guy they call Mr. Bayan, Stephen gave him $54 million. No, that's not what Stephen said. Stephen said, I got $54 billion. But any Liberian that need help, you need to come to me and tell me your problem. Then in order for me to give you the money, we have to sign understanding. That means the money I'm giving you, don't go buy a car, don't do the other one yet. This is what you need to do with the money. Then the newspaper just pick it and say, oh, Mr. Bayan and Stephen, Stephen gave Mr. Bayan $54 million. $billion. No, that's not what it means. Exactly. So the $50 billion that is put forward, it has been given to 40 countries and 2 other countries from Africa, that is Zambia, where Kamala Harris is, and Tanzania. Those 2 countries have already signed their MOU with Dubai, that company. And then Liberia just added. You know what they're going to do? Because the world, the United Nations, the big country we call the polluters, they got plenty of money setting aside. So the country with the higher forest in Africa will get more money. So what Mr. Weah is doing as a transformational leader, he said, gentlemen, yeah, they think that hair can't be there now. We're not just going to care what or whatever people believe it. So Mr. Weah now signed an agreement with the company they call Blue Carbon. There are other companies that are working for that money. But a particular company, Mr. Weah sat down with Toy and other people and said, my man, the company correct. Let's use the other garden, not use the other garden. You know how during the time Eddie was saying the oil black, oh, we want Chevron or we want ExxonMobil. Yeah. So that's how the whole carbon blueprint, since Dubai came out with that $54 billion, Blue Carbon came out and said, look, we can do a better thing for you guys. So Blue Carbon has signed that understanding with Liberia. They are going to develop their own strategy or plan how they will help Liberia to improve and protect the forest from deforestation. They're going to put that document together. And then when they get done with that document, they will come back to President Weah and toward them, and they will sign it after they read everything they're going to be doing for them. Then they will come to the people who got the $54 billion and say, my man, yeah, you're going to work now. They think I call maybe 7 million, 8 million, 10 million. Now how much it costs? So okay, German, yeah, they think makes sense. We are here agree to it, yeah. Then when that money part, then the man will send people on the ground. The first thing they will start to do now, they start counting the forest. Or they will be saying some people there in Lofa will go there, they'll go count forest there. What about Moscow County? Man, who got penny with Moscow County? Man, destroy the forest water. Okay, let's go down the river Cess, let's go to River G. Then they will start. Yeah, Sano. Then they will start to do all the forest head count. Yes. Then they will start counting all the forest. Guess what? When they start counting the forest, then they may not know all the terrain around, right? They don't know all the forest then. Then they will start to go in the different villages and start hiring our men in the town. Say, my man, see, I got understand the whole forest in the place. I got what? My man, Kanye will pay you. Then that guy will get a late job. You will sort of go in the headquarters with the man, they will go around that particular county. And then they will start to count all the forests. It's like they're doing the forest population count. Now, if Liberia come up with certain number of forests, then they will guide them who do the contract will give it to the Dubai company. They provided $54 billion and say, you see, the forest that Liberia can get the X amount of money to protect the forest. Then they will take that data and bring it to the UN and all the countries that are polluting the world. Say, my man, yeah, how much Liberia got here, but we don't want to take the job, so you got to give us something too. That is what the people are doing in Liberia, where you got the mess up guys in that country that just lying to the people because they got no experience, they got no qualification, and Liberians need to hear it. The president is trying to bring job for you, and then you want somebody who sitting in America that don't understand nothing. Like men like Eugene Fagon that cannot even differentiate an initiative from a project. Then he want to come argue here. There are some of your brothers in the country.
Let me take this caller.
Go ahead, take your call.
Hello, my brother.
Yes, you know where you're calling us from?
Okay, my name is Efrain. How you doing?
Fine, thank you, my man. How yourself?
Okay, all right. Thank you for the show, my brother. I really appreciate my brother who is there so this evening. My brother, I text you my car just 2 days ago. I'm not talking about I'll be taking a move from Pastor to Riverside.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, but the first year, I'm telling you, all the comments, the confidence, when I'm president, I will see. The confidence there, me, Pastor. Straight to Riverside.
Wow. But man, Stephen, ask that man where he took picture. Ask that man where he took picture. Ask him, did he take picture?
Thank you so much for being on part. We can still got some calls coming in on 0775 360 0555 679 089. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead because time is.
Yeah, what I would like to. All right, take your caller. Take your call.
Yeah, so you can put the call through. Let's take 1 or 2 callers before we wrap it up with Brendan because time is no more our friend. But can you? I mean, the guy just spoke and he said he's just from Grand Bassa. The road connecting river says will soon be open. The machines, everything I said. But again, opposition will come up with different things. I don't know where we're heading to. Like I usually say, they criticize with our recommendation. But let's go back to the phone now. Hello? Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, my brother. How are you? This is Emmanuel Richard, and I joined the conversation from Upper Cowboy. I'll let me say hi to your guest or your partner on America. How are you? It's Randy Duffel.
I'm okay, man. I'm okay, brother. I'm okay. Good to hear from you.
You know, look, when it comes to this particular election, the election is done. President, we have re-election with this day untouchable.
Yes, there you go.
We are not, following this naughty guy who sit on the internet and talk from morning to night. Look,
yeah, with no such thing.
It's not just about talking. Most of our friends on the other side, they scared, because they see the opportunity to be in America. They'll get on the platform and want to criticize and bullshit and do all kinds of things.
Yeah.
If you cut to laugh, we're not saying everything is well. But if you cut to laugh, there are some, the government is striving to do some things. There are a lot of things the government is doing here.
Yeah.
And based on that, we will get President William second chance because President William has started a lot of things to end it.
Yes.
Media, I will go for that. Some of us who are pushing this based on development. It's not what we will forget. So I just want to say thank you guys and we'll continue to set it down.
Yes, sir.
We are very important. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much
yes,
for being
sir.
part of the show. Get 1 or 2 more calls to wrap it up. We'll go on inside of Jeremy and take his parting comment on 0775 360 0356 0775 360 0356. Let me take this next caller. Good evening.
Good evening, bro.
You don't know where you join us from?
Coming on District 10.
District 10.
Thank you for the show and thank you for the started. We will carry our president.
Good.
Hello? Yeah, the guy from District 10. I want to ask you a question before.
The man just say he will carry our president. So the man will give it part.
Well, he didn't really. Hello, are you there? Yeah, the Lone Star is some kind of team. So the man say we'll carry our president.
Now all the men want you to hear, my brother.
Got a lot of controversy, and I don't know.
What you wanted to know about District 10? Do you mind telling us what you want to know about District 10? I mean, what's going on there?
Recent. Let me just take the call first.
Okay.
Good evening. Hello. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Steven, tell that man, Steven. Steven. Steve.
Thank you. Yeah, Randy?
Yeah, what I would like to say to Liberians, and thank God the show is live and people in Liberia hearing us. I want for them to do a political service duty on behalf of the transformation of President Weah. As long as the title is, I just want you to do a favor voluntarily. When you travel across Liberia and see development that the president is putting into place, for me, please try to take picture or try to do a 1 or 2 minute screenshot or podcast and post it on Facebook or send it to me.
For the sake of evidence.
Yes, so that we can educate our brothers and sisters in the diaspora here. Because you guys are on the ground, you guys are doing well.
Because of time, just take this time and just wrap it up from your end, and so I'll take leave of you.
Well, the discussion has come to an end, but the topic of transformation will continue tomorrow and beyond 2023 with President Weah. I am very confident, I'm very hopeful, and I believe that in President Weah, Liberia is going in the right direction. But I will say this, Mr. Stanton Witherspoon is nobody to be trusted. Even the chicken, the daughter in the country that can be taught to sniff for drugs and other stuff, they are also being cautioned not to look around Mr. Witherspoon and listen to him. You guys got a mission to accomplish, and that is to help Mr. Weah get re-elected. You elected him in the first round because he said he wanted to do stuff for the country, and he has done it. And all you need to do is to maintain that so you can do more together. We will be back here again tomorrow at 2. And I would like to say, Stephen, thank you very much for the opportunity. God bless you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Amen. Thank you so much as a voice of
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is J. Randy signing off. We started the show 2:30, but you guys I brought you guys on late because I was enjoying the topic and I forgot. And it was raining here today, so I had to just quickly run out. And I ran out of to get a few things. By the time I came, it was almost time, so I haven't even taken off my jacket. I take off my jacket just to come here and do some talking here. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity. Depending on the time and day today, we might be back here, but we'll see what happens when the time comes. Until then, please guys, don't forget about your contribution. The month has ended. Stevie is in Liberia. We have to send in our late contribution so that they can be able to at least they can be able to do their part here for us. So let me post the Cash App here. All right, let me post the Cash App before I leave. All right, just a little gesture from you guys. We appreciate you guys a lot. And I think his body, what's his name? Luis is not feeling well. We'll pray for him. Yes, let us pray for Luis. Luis inboxed me this morning with a message letting me know that he's not well. So let's try to pray for him. So our Cash App is right here. I just posted it for you guys. So whatever you can send, you share with us. We would definitely appreciate that. All right. So until then, I see you guys and bye for now. All right. Take care of yourself, guys. Bye for now.